Now I'm Huples cat. Babies! Let's look at
the strange situation which places the child under some stress. It has become the most widely used, standardized way to assess the quality of a child's attachment to their caregiver. Once Lisa has settled down to play, a stranger enters the room.
It's okay. Come on, help me.
Talk to your children about not talking to strangers, and do it today.
And sits in the chair reading a magazine.
Lisa, where's the bow? Where's the bow? Did you have it?
After a couple of minutes, the stranger attempts to interact with Lisa. Soon after, Lisbeth gets a cue to leave the room. The stranger tries to comfort Lisa, but in vain. Lisbeth comes back into the room, and the camera records how Lisa reacts. Now the first part of the procedure is over, and Lisbeth settles Lisa down again. The stranger leaves them alone together. And soon after, Lisbeth goes too. Lisa is on her own. Her distress is plain to see. Once again, the efforts of the stranger to console Lisa are to no avail. But Lisbeth manages to calm her almost at once, and shortly afterwards the observation ends. Lisa showed outward signs of what's called secure attachment.
So Lisa and her mum get an A+ for attachment, so Lisa doesn't need to be forcibly removed from her mum and put into childcare. But humans are special, right? We know our mum is our safety net, right?
Let me show you a monkey raised on a nursing wire mother. Now here are 106's two mothers. As you can see, it was weaned on a wire mother. Here's baby 106. Watch.
He's going to the wire mother.
He's got to eat to live.
Oh, he's going back.
He's back on the cloth mother, and he'll stay on the cloth mother. Actually, this baby spends from 17 to 18 hours a day on the cloth mother and less than 1 hour a day on the wire mother.
These old experiments are horrible and cruel. They should never have been done in the first place. I'm hoping you're revolted at them. If not, there's something wrong with you. Try and get some therapy. Harlow actually did worse experiments on the poor baby monkeys, which I'm not covering in this video because it's not relevant to free will and control.
We had predicted that the variable of contact comfort would be a variable of measurable importance, but we were unprepared to find that it completely overwhelmed and overshadowed all other variables, including those of nursing.
This should be no surprise. The mother's milk, the breast, is not the most important thing. What baby mammals need, and yes, you're a mammal, is warmth and comfort. Hard metal with lots of milk doesn't cut it.
Frankly, Doctor, if it comes to a choice between wire and cloth, it's reasonable to expect that any child will go to the cloth. It's a matter of creature comfort, like a baby with its blanket. But is this really love?
Well, what do you mean by saying that a baby loves its mother? Certainly one thing we mean is that it gets a great feeling of security in the presence of the mother.
Does the monkey love the cloth structure? Does Lisa love her mother more than a convenient stranger? Are the monkey and Lisa the same?
Loud sound, moving mechanical parts, all of these things are designed to frighten a monkey. Now here we have a peaceful, resting baby monkey. Let's find out what his reactions to his mother are when we frighten him.
He's scared, all right.
And he does what any child will do in a similar situation.
He runs away.
It's more than running away. He was running to his mother, to touch her, to drive away his fear. Contact with the mother changes his entire personality. Look, now he's actually threatening the diabolical object. All right. This gives us part of the picture of the strength of infantile love.
Her distress is plain to see.
No, what these experiments actually show is that love and attachment are much more complex than merely supplying food and energy to a baby. There's much more going on in the baby than we might realise. It also shows us that researchers are cruel. Okay, for the religious lot out there who believe that humans are incredibly special and completely different from all other life on Earth, I have a question for you. When do human babies know the difference between right and wrong? Between good and evil? And even opinion now, I believe the monkey babies would actually give you the same decision making you're about to see in human babies.
We run puppet shows in the lab.
I need to do something fun now, okay?
They are either hand puppets or little wooden shapes in which one character plays the role of the good guy and another character plays the role of the bad guy. Up goes the curtain. One puppet tries but fails to get to the top of the hill, sort of struggling and falling back down. On alternating trials, we show infants one character who comes and bumps the climbing character up the hill, and down goes the curtain. If you're ready, up goes the curtain. On another trial, we have a character who comes and bumps the character down the hill. Down goes the curtain. And up goes the curtain. Infants see that interaction sort of over and over again, between 6 and 14 times. After they're sort of finished looking at it, when they're nice and bored, we simply ask them to choose between the two characters. All right, great. So we are all done with that part. We're just gonna have her choose between the puppets now.
That one.
All right, good job. That was the helpful guy, wasn't it?
Okay, there's a ton of things wrong with the setup for this science, but I'll let you know something straight off. Both choices have to be at the same position as the baby. Both choices have to be mixed around. You have to take in account of right-handedness versus left-handedness. But that being said, and there is also some verbal clues going on, I actually do think that babies are making a choice, picking mostly good over the bad.
Astonishingly, really, we are finding that upwards of 80% of babies are choosing the character who was helpful over the character who was unhelpful.
Hold on a minute, 20% pick the bad character. Now evolution demands that in any society, any species, you have to have a divergence of opinion. So some people will be cannibals and some people will never be cannibals. Some people will always help others, other people will never help others. At different times and different stresses, the important thing is that some people will make it through the disaster and others will not.
In another of our tests is a character who has a ball and he plays with his ball sort of happily, and then he drops his ball to one side of the stage or another. At the back of the stage, there are two characters, one of whom runs up when the ball goes over near him, grabs the ball, and gives the ball back to the character who dropped it. On the other hand, the character on the other side of the stage, when he runs up, he grabs the ball and runs off stage with it. So we are just going to have her choose between the puppets now.
Hey, which one do you like? That guy? Okay.
Okay, this is basically the same thing as the other one, but different, so it's good that they're using different methodologies. But let's think about this. Again, 20% of the babies pick the ball stealer. Now, the use of the different scenarios is great, but what's going on? 1 in 5 human babies identify with the evil person.
One character comes and helps him open the box after he struggles. And down goes the curtain. Up goes the curtain. Another character comes and jumps down on top of the box, preventing him from doing so. Okay, great. Now we're just gonna have her choose between the puppets.
Which one do you like? That one?
So parents often ask us what it might mean that their baby seems to tell the difference between a nice guy and a mean guy.
That's the only question I would really have is, how did my baby do?
And one of the things I think it means is that we spend a lot of time worrying about teaching children the difference between good guys and bad guys in the world, good things and bad things. But that in fact these things might be something that infants just come to the world with.
Now, knowing right from wrong doesn't mean we'll necessarily grow up always picking right from wrong. But the point is made. Human babies are innately born with a sense of being good and bad. And some are going to be born identifying bad and some are going to be identifying good. And again, for you religious lot out there, at what age do you think a human baby should be identified as a human being? By this I mean being aware of your own self enough to solve problems. Because if you're not aware of your own self, you're not really intelligent. You're not really a person, are you? You have the potential to become one, I guess. To about the age of 15 months, a human baby is unaware of self and how self interacts with the external universe. They're awful cute, but they're not really people yet. They can't be shown how to do something and repeat it.
Is that a special card? That's a very special card.
Next comes 14-month Oscar.
Size. Come show me. Come show me.
He too can't figure out why the cart won't move. Out of frustration, he tries to climb into the cart.
You notice in the other scenarios they're using female children and then making decisions about all children based upon that. It's interesting how researchers do things. But here they've decided to use a baby boy, and Austin, he can't do it, so he decides to attack and destroy the trolley instead. So at around 16 months of age, a human child should normally be able to figure out that they are there, but still can't figure out how to. So at about 18 months of age, a year and a half after birth, a human baby develops enough to understand itself and how it interacts with the universe and to actually use that self on the universe to achieve goals. Now don't get me wrong, the child remains heavily dependent for many years to come. But there's no arguing that by the age of 18 months, a human baby is a human being. Before then, they had the potential.
Push it to Mama. You push it to Mama.
18-month Jonathan pushes once and steps off the mat. He has quickly figured out that he's the one who is the obstacle to moving the cart, which suggests that he is aware of himself and his body.
These videos show that human beings develop in predictable ways, and that most learned behaviour is actually instinctual and is not free will. Appreciate it? Give me a sub, share this video. The reason I'm focusing on psychology in this set of videos is because it's important to understand how we actually experience the world, how we've developed and how we're going through the world. We all have this mythology of being the independent, free-willed cowboy who can stand up to anything providing they have a gun. The truth of it is, you're not. We're just a bunch of sheep in most circumstances. You can use training and practice to get out of the habit of just going along with the group. The truth is most people are not doing that. Doodles. This has been a 2024 Wolfie Saw the Gorilla production. These videos show that human beings develop... Ooh, puff puff. Don't do that. A bit. Right? These videos show that human beings... The reason I'm focused on psychology in this set of videos... The reason that I'm focused on psychology in this set of videos, the reason I'm focused on psychology in this, the reason I'm focused on, puff puff.